Hi, this is Mike the Versys Rider. Wanted to show you today how you can make your own sturdy cell phone mount for the Versys 1000 using roughly $7 to $8 in parts and a couple hours of your time. The background for this is that in recent days, I've been planning a trip to the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, and it's a little bit remote up there. I'm not familiar with the terrain, and so I really needed two things. Number one, I needed some power in order to charge my phone. And so to that end, I added the official Kawasaki power outlet on the left-hand side here with a USB power adapter. And that allows me to charge my phone while I'm riding, which is good because I might be a long way from power given the remoteness of the territory. But ideally, I would also like to have a place to mount my cell phone so I can use GPS navigation, especially in the unfamiliar terrain. And there's a lot of really good cell phone mounts out there. There's some stuff from RAM-X, there's some stuff from TechMount, all really good products. The issue that I had is that they really didn't suit my particular needs. First of all, they were really expensive. You're looking at anywhere from $100 to $150 by the time you include the base mount and the actual plate that the phone sets into, or the cradle. The other issue is that I wasn't really happy with the mounting points. Typically, you're looking at a couple of mounting places on a Versys 1000. You're looking at a mount right on the handlebars here. The issue that I have is that the phone tends to be really in your face, and I find that rather distracting, and so that's not something that I particularly wanted. The other obvious place to mount it is between the risers here. Provides a really sturdy mount. Two issues there, though. You're probably mounting your phone in landscape mode, which I really don't like. It's not that great for maps. The second issue is you have to look down to look at the phone. So you're riding along, you're looking over or through the windscreen, and then to check your position, you have to look down almost at the tank, and that can become a safety issue. So I started thinking about what I might be able to do on my own for a cell phone mount. The first thing that I tried a heavy-duty hook and loop fastener, very similar to the ones that you see on toll transponders that you mount to your windshield. You can see here that I took one side of the hook and loop fastener and placed it where the rubber grommet used to be. You can see this triangular rubber grommet on the left-hand side. I just pulled that out from the right-hand side and then mounted a cut-to-fit hook and loop fastener right there. Took the other side of the hook and loop fastener, put it on my cell phone. And it does a good job of mounting the cell phone when you're sitting still in the garage. The problem is once the bike starts moving, it starts vibrating, and it's very easy for that phone to shake loose. And so it became obvious that that was not going to work. So after that, I thought that I was not going to be able to do something on my own. And I continued shopping for mounts from RAM-X and again from TechMount and other providers on Amazon and Revzilla. Until I was at the hardware store one day and I happened to run across something that caught my eye. And it was a simple selfie stick, let me bring it out to the light here, that was on clearance for a whopping, let me get it into focus, a whopping $2. This is just a generic made overseas selfie stick that you can find anywhere. The hardware store couldn't get rid of them fast enough, so again, they had them on clearance for $2. There's the cradle, there's the pivoting arm with the adjustment bolt, and there's what remains of the telescoping pole, which I had to cut for length. And so when I saw this, I thought, wow, this might be able to fit into that accessory port with a little bit of work. So to that end, what I decided to do, and I'll bring it around here to show you, is I went ahead and removed the cover for that second accessory hole. That's a pretty simple job to do. You just have to take off the right side tank fairing here. That just fits in with one bolt, and there's three pins that are snugged into the grommets there. Just pull those out. Once you do that, there's a pop rivet here that you can use to loosen up the official mounting point for the clocks. And then there is another pin that fits into a grommet back there. You can just pull that out a little bit, and that gives you some room and some flexibility to pull up on this side of the dash panel. Once I did that, I was able to take a small number 1 Phillips screwdriver, reach behind there. Took a little bit of work, but after feeling it out a little bit, removed that bolt and was able to pull the cover off very readily. And from there, I can measure the size of the hole and figure out what I might need for mounting hardware to get that cell phone mount or that selfie stick to fit into that hole. And what I came up with was using a piece of PVC pipe. And so what I did here, I purchased really 3 pieces of PVC, all just for a few dollars. What you have in front of you here where my thumb is at, that is a 1-inch coupling with male threads on one side and a slip joint on the left-hand side. That slip joint is too large for the selfie stick. The diameter is too big, but there's a bushing that fits into the female side of that slip joint. All I did was purchase that bushing for about 50 cents, and the diameter is just about right for that selfie stick. To make it more snug, I pulled the rubber that was on the selfie stick grip, just doubled it up, and now it fits in there nice and snug. And then on the back, what we have here is a bolt here. This is the female side of the threaded bolt. That'll go behind the clocks, and it will cause it to snug up the other side of the PVC, and you will have a safe and secure cell phone mount. I can show you how that looks just a second. I'm going to pause the video, and I'll be right back. Hey, Mike again here. You can see we were able to get the phone mount attached to the dash panel. What I was able to do was to put a coat of flat black paint onto the PVC so it blends in a little bit more naturally with the dash panel. You can see here it's in really tight. There's really nothing here that's going to make that shake loose. 2 things I'm maybe a little bit worried about. There's some flex here, just given that the arm sticks out a little bit. Might have to put some foam padding down or something like that beneath it so that it doesn't vibrate too much. The other thing to worry about is that when I put the retaining nut on from the back, it is extremely tight, and it's going to be virtually impossible for me to remove it without removing the dash panel first. That's not very hard. If I have to remove the dash panel, it can be done in about a half an hour or so. But just something to keep in mind if you do this mod yourself. Let's go ahead. Let's put a cell phone into it, and let's see how it looks. All right, and so that is what the phone looks like when it is in the cradle. You can see it's nice and flush here with the dash. It's not sticking out. It's not protruding from the handlebars or is in your face. Has a nice clean look to it. I can adjust the phone up or down just to make sure that it's not too high up or not too low. If it's too high up, I'd maybe worry a little bit about the wind catching it and putting some torque on it, but it can sit pretty low in the cradle to keep that from happening. The bottom does run up against the molding here. That's actually good. That gives it a little bit more support. I think I'm just going to put some self-adhesive foam down here just to give it a little bit more cushion so it doesn't vibrate when I'm out on the road. I do have a USB cable that lies flush with the outlet, so I can just have it lie flush. I'll probably just run it up around the clocks here, and then move it over to the socket. No problems with the handlebars being in the way. I'm able to go full deflection either way with no problems. So overall, I'm pretty happy with this. The true test will be out on the road. Like I said, I think there'll be a few vibrations, but nothing that some self-adhesive foam can't handle. All right, thanks for watching.